Yo, call me a Sonic hero the way your parents are near hoes. Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the Game Sketch. Today, and only today, that's right, I am here with Sonic Heroes Revisited, alright? So let's not dick around, let's get into the new year, and let's get into some depression. So as we continue through these Sonic games, Reset, Revisit, Adventure, I revisited Adventure 2, I re-reviewed them, had a great time with them, had some issues with them, we got to Sonic Heroes. Now, Sonic Heroes is a game I already knowingly don't enjoy too much, right? I mean, like, I someone who grew up with it a little bit, but my nostalgia for it is not as crazy as a lot of people. In fact, Sonic Heroes means a lot to people. For the longest time, it was the best selling 3D Sonic game. I think, like, in mainstream eyes to this day, besides Adventure 2, it is one of those games that anyone I know that doesn't even play Sonic anymore, that just when I tell them, oh, do you guys play Sonic when you grew up, they're like, oh yeah, Sonic Heroes. Now, admittedly, they did make a banger theme, and I think this game drives me fucking crazy in a lot of ways. So let's get right into the concept of it. So Sonic Heroes is just the amalgamation of what you would think the ultimate Sonic game is, right? It is, you know, purely fast-paced, you know, moving levels. You get, you know, different teams. You get a highlight of all the characters, and the whole dynamic is that you have a speed character, the flight character, and the power character on each team. You get Team Sonic, which is Team Heroes, Team Dark, Team Rose, Team Chaotix, and of course you get the last story for beating all 4 campaigns. I gotta say though, whoever thought it was justified to make you play this fucking game 4 times to get the last campaign is a psychopath. In fact, I refuse to even do it. Yeah, like, I did it. I beat it on Team Heroes, I beat it on Team Dark, I tried Team Rose, I've already played Team Chaotix in my life. I can't suffer through this enough. You know what I mean? It's not fair to the human eye. And I want to get into exactly what my issue with this game, because like I said, conceptually, I think in a lot of ways, this is such a fantastic idea. It's a way to showcase all the characters, right? But, you know, you get them sort of contained together instead of everybody getting their own separate thing. But I feel like they lost what made a game like Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 special, which was like finding ways to redo levels differently, right? And clearly this was a thing they wanted to do with these 3D games, right? Especially like now looking back, it's kind of crazy how much they wanted to do that. Adventure wanted you to play the game with 8 different characters through 8 different stories. In Adventure 2, you had Team Hero and Team Dark, which I felt like was a better idea, you know, to hone it in a little bit more. But again, flaw with that game being like you miss a certain gameplay style for a while. Whereas in this game, it was sort of like, let's combine Sonic Adventure, where it's this like a shit ton of campaigns, and combine Adventure 2, where, you know, it's like the team idea. So they sort of combine the concepts, and it becomes a bit too much, because like I said, bro, these campaigns have nothing in difference between them, except, you know, sometimes the levels are a little longer, sometimes they're a little more difficult with Team Dark, sometimes they're shorter with Team Rose, sometimes, you know, you have specific objectives with Team Chaotix. There was no reason to have this many campaigns, at least especially forced, you know, and I'm guessing the average person kind of just played one campaign and ran with it, but still. Now let's start with the gameplay, all right? Overall, honestly, gameplay-wise, I like the idea here, right? I like that, you know, with Sonic, you're running super fast. With Knuckles, you know, you're doing some big hits, and with Tails, you're doing these little flying attacks, and each character has different attack moves, and in fact, there's even like a level up system where you can collect these orbs or these things around you where their moves level up. I like this in concept. I like the idea of, you know, having team attacks, working together. This idea of teamwork emphasized as Sonic is pretty cool, right? And I think, you know, sometimes there's different level paths you can take, which I think, like I said, is so cool. This game to me is so dope in so many ways, but the level design sometimes just drives you fucking up the wall with what they want you to do. You know, for example, to get to a special stage, you need to get these keys in a level, right? But like, to keep the key, you can't get hit, which is like a psycho thing to ask in a game where like some enemies just have a million HP. I feel like even combat wise, when you get to certain bosses, you literally just have to mash the boss like 10 million times. Like, see, no joke, you have to mash the boss different times. And I know there's different techniques you could do where like you could swap the Knuckles, power him up, and hit the boss and do more damage. I know you can swap the Tails, and I know the idea here is to get you to level up the characters and mix and match up, but sometimes just things drag on forever, which also drives me crazy, because I think aesthetically this is a 10 out of 10 Sonic game, right? You think about Seaside Hill, beautiful looking level, you see the oceans, you have unique scenery, it looks like a classic Sonic level mixed in with modernism. You have Grand Metropolis, which feels like this nice futuristic city. You know, the roads feel like, you know, they're sky made. You've got some cool, you know, future techie kind of beat. I love how it looks. Casino Park aesthetically also fantastic. Mystic Mansion I think is a beautiful level even, and again such a cool concept. Rail Canyon as an idea is fire. Lost Jungle is beautiful. Music overall on all these levels, awesome. Like they nail so much of it. But then you get into the actual design, right? Casino Park is fucking it's awful, bro. Like the pinball mechanics there are annoying, right? Getting to the end of the level is frustrating. Mystic Mansion Act 2 is frustrating. It makes you do way too many things and stops you way too many times. Lost Jungle is pretty good until you get to a section where you literally have to jump, I'm not even joking, 32 times on a rope to get to the end of the level. Rail Canyon, oh my god, this level, bro. This level in concept should be the coolest thing because rails in Sonic are dope, but oh, you're just swapping between rails constantly. There's random trades coming out of nowhere and hitting you. The levels are so long and you can fall off so easily, man. It's just, there's so much about the game that drives me fucking up the wall because, like I said, conceptually, it's so cool. And I like even, you know, the story. It's a much more silly story. You kind of just encounter the different teams. You have moments where the gang's trying to figure out what's going on. Why does Eggman sound really weird? Until you find that, obviously, in the last campaign that wasn't really Eggman. It was Neo Metal. And Neo Metal, by the way, fucking awesome. If you want to ask me about the final campaign, like the Super Sonic fight, immaculate. I think they cooked. I think it's fun. And even honestly, the final boss of the main campaign, I think it's pretty cool. The Eggman Night fight, those fights are fire. And like this is what I'm saying about this game, where it drives me crazy, where like conceptually, I want to love it so much. In fact, even with how much I suffered on stream with the game, I still in my mind was like, I kind of fuck with this a little bit, right? But like, dude, but sometimes it's a bitch. I mean, like, I was stuck on the Shadow, one of the bosses in Team Dark. I was stuck on it for like an hour. It's the one in the castle level, because it's just it's like an enemy gauntlet, and it goes on forever and forever. And if you die, you have to restart the whole thing. It's like the checkpoints sometimes are so bad. The level design just fucks you so many times, and it's just so much of the game is so frustrating, bro. Don't even get me started on the special stages. One of the worst things ever, bro. You are going obnoxiously fast. You can't see what's in front of you. The Chaos Emerald feels like it's sprinting away from you. Like it never wants you to get it. They're frustrating. They're not good. It's like the game wants to fight you, you know. And I know a lot about this game was that, you know, they Izuka and someone else were like, I think they had 2 level designers on it, and you know, I know Izuka went through hell to pump out the game. I know a lot of the team worked really hard on this, and I can tell, right? Because I can tell if this game really had a proper full team on it, was properly done, which, you know, I know you can say a lot of Sonic games. I think we're about to go through that a little bit once we get to Shadow and Sonic 06. We're gonna see more of that, and I think I feel like this is when you start to see the shift in Sonic, right? With Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, I think you had games that, you know, while still flawed, were still, I think, inherently great products and great things, whereas now we get to the point where like the teams are starting to pump out stuff a bit, and it's getting a little mushy. And I felt like with Sonic, with Heroes, this is where that began, which is so disappointing, because like I said, I feel like this game almost caused Sega to, you know, hone it back, right? You know, maybe not highlight all of Sonic's friends, at least playable wise. I mean, after this game, right, like when does SPO become playable again besides in a spin-off or Vector or anything, right? Like this game really made them go, all right, we gotta step back on the cast here, which is such a shame, because like I said, I feel like there's a way they can make this game work in terms of like, you know, a remake. Because I was thinking about how the fuck do you remake this game, and it's like, do you make it so that every team goes to a different level? Do you make it so that you just fix the levels? Do you make it so it's easier to get to the last story? Like, I don't know what exactly you do in a remake. Let me know your ideas in the comment section below. But it's just the way this game almost punished me for wanting to like this, because I wanted to like it again so bad, because I knew in my mind that like I wasn't the biggest fan of Sonic Heroes. But going back to it today, and honestly, by the way, I played it modded too to help me through stuff, you know, and even then I was suffering. But like I said, I think when the game is fun, it feels really good, because like I said, when you go through Lost Jungle in the first act, I feel like the music is so soothing, the level is so fun. Like I said, Emerald Coast for me is immaculate. I think Grand Metropolis for the most part is a very fun level, and I think, like I said, Rail Canyon IDOS is pretty good. So not everything is like actual hell, right? But there are times where I'm playing where I'm like, okay, like This is driving me a little crazy. And like I said, story-wise, the game is fun, right? Each campaign sort of has these mini cutscenes segmented. One of my favorite things about the game is like the level intros where the characters sort of talk a little bit and then run into the level, which I think is so cool. And I like that, right? This is when, you know, the gangs have fun dynamics. It's a much more sillier story Sonic-wise, right? And I do like, you know, Team Heroes. I like how each team has the different things. By the way, shout out to Omega. Omega got to be the funniest character of all times. He's just talking shit about every robot, and he just wants to kill. Worthless consumer model. But also, this game has some of the ugliest animations in the entire series. I feel like this is the only game where animations are this ugly, where they try to do these CG scenes where, like, the eyes are awful. Everything looks fucking weird. I feel like it's the only Sonic game with this issue, you know, because typically Sonic's CGI, for the most part, is really good. I don't know what they were cooking with this one. And honestly, I feel like that's really it. I don't have too much more to say about Sonic Heroes, just because I feel like there's nothing I want to talk about that much. I think there's not even that much to talk about, because like I said, each of the campaigns are the same. It's not even like Sonic, you know, Adventure 2, where like at least each campaign has different levels I could talk about. Each campaign has these same levels, and there's just variations of them, whether they're shorter or harder or some weird objective in them. And it's like, there's not much to talk about, and I feel like I've almost said everything I need to say, and I'm still disappointed in this game. I think, you know, honestly, sometimes I'll say a game is mid, right, jokingly, but I think this game would be the first time I really say the definition of mid is here. Like, it is a mid game. It's not awful. It's serviceable. It works. It's fun at times, you know. You can get some enjoyment out of it if you play Team Heroes. You know, you suffer a little bit, but you'll still get at some point. But overall, just, you know, that's really it, bro. I wish it was better. I wish there were more levels. I wish it was less, you know, not broken or glitchy and stuff like that. But for the most part, you know, it is what it is. Yeah. So if you enjoy it, let me know why you enjoy it. And if you hate it, let me know why you hate it. And of course, guys, I love you, and I'll see you all next time. Peace out.